it is mentioned that development of data acquisition or mechatronic system using low cost open source hardware and software interfacing. So including that one and as the application part, now I request to Patange sir. Patange sir.
Yes, sir. I hope
Okay,
I'm audible.
I'll share your PPT.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay. So, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk on basically the practical number 4, which is development of a data acquisition system or a mechatronic system using open source hardware and software. Basically, which is considered to be a development of low cost data acquisition system, in-house development of that system, which we have introduced newly in this particular syllabus, because before we had only interfacing of sensor to data acquisition system and measurement of some properties like temperature or pressure or something. But this time we have newly introduced this practical assignment, or we can say a practical session where the student will get opportunity to select some application to develop a data acquisition system or a mechatronic system, then select a sensor, select a signal conditioning modules, selecting the controllers, then making the system, and then implementing it for data collection and data analysis. Sir, I think presentation is not visible.
Yes, sir.
Can you
Yes, sir.
share it?
Let me know.
Okay,
Just a minute. I will share.
sure, sure. Okay. So along with my presentation, I am going to share the PDF of 4 applications where I'm going to explain stepwise procedure to develop 4 different types of data acquisition systems, along with their sensor selection, along with their signal conditioning module, along with the selection of controller, their interfacing, circuit diagrams, coding, and everything. So that will be helpful for you all. And the case studies or like different applications which I'm going to explain now have already been successfully implemented in some of the institutes under Pune University under the same subject as a voluntarily assignment before, before some years.
Sir, I think is it visible? No.
Yes, now you can go to presentation. Yes, thank you, sir. Can you go to second slide, please? Okay, so as I already said, scope of first 3 experiment is only limited to measuring the various parameters and examining their input type output characteristics. And scope of fifth experiment, which is development of or fourth experiment rather, which is experiment on interfacing of suitable sensor to DAQ system. So if you see the scope of these 2 experiments, it is related to only interfacing and understanding how the sensor works with the data acquisition system. But the intention behind introducing fifth practical is that student will get to know how to select the application, and with respect to that application how to understand the requirement of that particular system, and along with that the various modules, that sensor, signal conditioning, processing, collection, storage, and display. So that is why I am going to explain the practical number 5 particularly. Can you go to next slide? Okay, so before going to the actual experiment, I would like to explain the background behind this particular experiment. So basically, when Ritesh sir, can you go to slide number 3?
Uh, is it okay, sir? Three.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
three.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so when data-driven models are considered, in past the data in science and engineering was scarce and frequently obtained by experiments proposed by the researchers or scholars to verify the given hypothesis. But when each experiment was able to yield only limited data, but in today's era, due to advancement in the instrumentation, data is abundantly collected in each single experiment at very low cost. So a data-driven model is based on an analysis of such huge data about the specific system. So the main concept behind this data-driven model is to find relationship between the state variables, that is input and output, without explicit knowledge of various physical behavior of the system. And further, if we implement AI and ML to such data driven systems, then it will be useful for making the system smart, so that the pattern recognition and statistical inferences can be drawn from such system, which are capable to learning improve which are capable of learning to improve their performance based on their previous knowledge. So as we are discussing about the subject numerical methods and mechatronics, in continuation with the newly introduced subject AI and ML, use of this particular practical will be done in the subject of AI and ML, because once you have your own system which you have developed for data acquisition, then you can implement that system to acquire the data in modeling of machine learning based or AI based problems in the subject for the next semester. So this was the background behind why we are going for developing a data acquisition system in-house, so that students will get, they will explore themselves to all these
Oh,
domains. So you can go to
Abhishek sir,
next
there
slide.
is some voice breaking in your voice.
Okay, sir, I'll try to shift myself from there. Can you go to fourth slide? Am I audible now?
Yes, yes. Now it's clearly audible.
Okay. So yeah. So next slide, please. Fourth, yeah. So if you see this particular diagram where various steps of data-driven models is explained, so if you see this, any kind of ordinary mechanical system which has some source of vibrations or temperature variation or pressure variation and so on, when it is integrated with artificial intelligence and machine learning, it will be able to learn, it will be able to predict, and it will be able to improve itself with respect to the experience. If you see the various steps in data driven models, first is input data, where the data will be collected from various techniques. Then it will be analyzed. Then the patterns will be found out using machine learning, and the prediction will be done. And lastly, the feedback will be stored for further improvement. Go to next slide, please. Okay. So if we see the data acquisition system, which we have already teaching this system to students, so here various steps we can consider as a source signal, which is a physical phenomenon which is acquired using sensors, which will be obviously detected with some noise or some unwanted material, that will be conditioned using signal conditioning functions like filtering, decomposition of signal, denoising, amplification, attenuation, excitation, linearization, isolation, surge protection, analog to digital conversion, and digital to analog conversion. So these are all the functions students may get involved while designing such systems. Can you go to next slide? This is basic idea behind the data acquisition system. So now I would like to explain four different examples where the system is being developed for measuring temperature, for measuring vibration, and for measuring the flow. Go to next slide. I would like to begin with the first measurement, that is temperature measurement. So if I want to develop a temperature measurement system, what will be the scope and objective of this particular experiment? So there are 8 scopes and objectives which I would like to explain in detail in further slides. So first objective will be select any application related to data acquisition system for mechanical or automobile systems, or with student interest. Then second objective will be select suitable low cost sensor, preferably MEMS based sensor. Third will be select suitable low cost microprocessor, controller, and storage device. Maybe you can go for selection of Arduino or Raspberry Pi according to your requirement. The fourth one will be selection of suitable signal conditioning module if required. Fifth one will be selection of suitable signal communication module. Sixth one will be selection of suitable software for data display and analysis. Seventh one will be, once we get all these modules, we can go for interfacing of all components and we can develop the data acquisition system. And last will be implementation of this system for collection of data. Then you can change its communication rate or baud rate, plus data transmission rate, play around with it, and then you can use this system further for the course of AI and ML. Go to next slide. Now I would like to explain all these objectives with respect to the example of temperature measurement in detail, so that you will get an idea how to implement this particular experiment. So first objective, that is the selection of application related to data acquisition for mechanical or automobile system. So here I have selected the application as to record temperatures at various locations inside the heat exchanging device, incorporating various inserts. Its objective will be to develop a temperature measurement system for said application using low cost open source hardware and software. Go to next slide. Now second objective will be selection of suitable sensor, preferably MEMS based sensor. So here my system require, you have to identify the system requirement. So for my system, the minimum temperature to be measured is 0 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature to be measured is 100 degrees Celsius. I required number of channels for temperature measurement is equal to 8, because I want to record the working fluid temperature at inlet as T1, at outlet at T8, and surface wall temperatures. There are 6 locations where I have to measure the surface wall temperature. So that means I need to have 8 channels for temperature measurement. So this is the system requirement which student will identify with respect to their application. So according to this particular requirement, now I will go to select a K-type thermocouple, because K-type thermocouple, as we know that it is coupling of chromel and alumel wires. Its input range will be minus 270 degrees Celsius to 1260 degrees Celsius, and its output range will be minus 6.4 to 54.9 millivolts over maximum temperature range, and its price for per sensor will be just 50 rupees. So this is how student will find out the system requirement, and according to that they will go to the market and then they will purchase a sensor. Go to next slide. Yeah. So now the third objective is to select a suitable microprocessor, microcontroller, or a storage device. Here I have chosen it as Arduino. Now, as my system requirement is, I want digital input pins is equal to 8 to record various temperatures. So I have selected the Arduino as my microprocessor or microcontroller, which is open source hardware. Particularly processor Atmega 2560, because it has digital input output pins is equal to 54, out of which I required 8, and it also has 15 pins with pulse width modulation output. Along with this, it has analog input pins is equal to 16, and students have already learned this Arduino board in their EEE subject, so they are aware how to deal with the Arduino board. So they are aware of this particular open source hardware. Go to next slide. So now our next scope is to select a suitable signal conditioning module. Now, as we know that thermocouple needs various signal conditioning functions such as temperature conversion, cold junction compensation, and digitization. Now, if you see this particular scope, student will be able to understand what is actually signal conditioning, how to convert temperature, into equivalent voltage, then how to make a cold junction compensation, and, and
So
how
next slide.
again, yeah, and how again the conversion of analog input to digital output will be done. So to perform all these three requirements or functions, we have module which is called as MAC 6675 module. So if you interface this particular module, Mahajan sir,
you are not synchronous with the slide.
Yeah. So, Mahajan sir, can you go to slide number 11, please? Mahajan sir, slide number 11.
Yes, sir. It's 11 number.
Yeah,
Objective
okay.
4.
I can't see.
No, we are able to see 10 number slide.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it okay?
No, sir, we can't see that.
No, sir.
No, not it.
Maybe due to work issue, I think. But I think I already.
Sir, you can stop sharing and you can share your screen again.
Okay. Is it visible, sir, now?
No, sir, not yet.
Sir, the share is being first. Maza sir.
Just a minute, sir.
So till the margin sir share is seen, let me continue with some more information. So till now, if you see the scope and objective of this particular experiment, you will see that for this temperature measuring application, student may get the question why to select only a thermocouple, why not thermistor or RTD or something. So for this particular selection of sensor process, they will think for various
Is it
types and
visible,
their
sir, now?
application. Uh, no, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes,
Just
Yes,
open the
yes,
yes,
sir.
PPT.
Now
Yes,
it
yes.
is.
it's not visible.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I was talking about
Okay, sir. Okay.
the signal conditioning module. So to perform three functions as signal conditioning to convert temperature into equivalent voltage, pole junction compensation, and digitization, we have this module which is MAX 6675 module, which will cost only 100 or
Ah,
150 rupees to purchase this particular module. So this has been selected because it has
हो
12
सर,
bit of
तुमचं
resolution.
वर्कशॉप होतं, आलो
It
येतो.
converts this particular converter resolves temperature to 0.25 degrees Celsius, and it
पण
allows readings as high as
Deborah, to
plus
understand.
1024 degrees Celsius, and which has which is available in very small size, and it has 8 serial data output pins packets. So that is why this signal conditioning module was selected. Can you go to next slide? Slide number 12. Yeah, so here again we will come to communication, which we are going to teach at the start of this particular unit. So now we have interfaced all my components. Now I want to communicate my signal. So either you can go for wired communication or wireless communication according to your requirement. If you want to go for wireless communication, the module which is called as Zigbee, which is available, which will communicate your signal with with wireless functions. So this particular module can be selected. Go to next slide. So now our next objective is to select suitable software for data display and analysis. Margin sir, next slide. 13, slide number 13.
Objective 6, no, sir?
13. Yeah,
13, no?
objective.
Yes.
Yes. So now here my system requirement is to read and store 8 channel temperature varying with respect to time. So here the softwares can be used as Arduino IDE, then Parallels DAQ, Excel or Python. According to your requirement, according to your comfort zone, you can select any software. So Arduino IDE, it contains a text editor for writing a code in the Arduino board, as a message area, a text console, and a toolbar with buttons for common functions, and a serials of menus. It connects the Arduino and Zinio hardware to upload programs and communicate with them. Then PLX DAQ, if you want to take your reading in MS Excel, the module which is called as PLX DAQ, which is openly available on Google, that you can download, which is basically an add-in feature in Microsoft Excel, which acquires up to 26 channels of data from any parallax microcontroller, that is Arduino board. Here we have considered, and then it drops the number of the data into number of columns as they arrive. So you can consider this system as real-time system. As the temperature is being acquired from the system, it will be collected and it will be displayed on the MS Excel. You can go to next slide. You use Python also, because now students are, they have learned Python, so they can interface this complete system to Python, and they can get data, and they can analyze it with respect to Python. So next objective is interface of all components to develop the data acquisition system. So you can see the circuit diagram here, where the thermocouple is interfaced to thermocouple was interface to the MAX 6675 module, which is signal conditioning module. Then it is interface to Arduino board. This PPTs and the PDFs. Then you can go to next slide, please. So here you can see this. Since my requirement was to integrate 8 different thermocouples, K-type thermocouples, to 8 signal conditioning module and then to the Arduino board. So you can see, how the students will explore to, all these objectives and scope using the single experiment, because they need to go through all these requirements, and then with respect to that, they are going to select various modules, and then they are going to interface it. Then you can go to next slide, please. So here the code is given. You can see the code. It is very simple. I'm not going to explain the code, but just for your understanding and visualization, the code is given here. So this was the interfacing of single thermocouple to the Arduino board, which is just 15 to 12 lines of code, which you can sketch into Arduino IDE, and then further it can be communicated to either Python or either to the MS Excel according to your requirement. Go to next slide. And even you can communicate your signal to MATLAB also. Go to next slide. Yes. So now I want to implement my system to measure the temperature. So you can see here, Mahajan sir, slide number 17. So you can see the GUI here, graphic user interface, which was developed in MS Excel. So when you say connect, that time the Arduino board will be connected, it will get connected to MS Excel, and the temperature variation with respect to time will be recorded and it will be displayed. So this is very easy, to build this system. So at this moment, you can change the data transmission rate, you can change the delay between 2 readings, and then you can see how it affects the reading which is coming out of the thermocouple. So this is how you can play around the developed system, because since this system has been developed by you, you can play around that system. The scope of developing this system and implementing is completely given to you. It is open to you at any extent. So you can play around it and you can collect the data. Go to next slide. So this system was implemented on heat exchanging device, where various temperatures at various locations were measured. And as Om Prakash sir has correctly pointed out about the calibration of developed system, whatever he was saying, it was correct. Once, because the system which you have developed by using this particular procedure need to be calibrated, or need to be, you have to measure its accuracy with respect to some standard. So what we have done is we had compared the reading with some commercial system, and then we have given the comparative analysis. So you can see the readings which are given here in the second row, the readings which have been come from developed system, and in the third row the reading from the commercial system. So if you see the accuracy of developed system, it is near about 99.8% for all the readings, and that is why you can say the system has been calibrated. You can go to next slide. So this is how you can implement your system to some particular application. So this was about temperature measurement. Now I am going to explain the vibration measurement. So now if you see here the electrical motor, where you can see the source of vibration. Maybe the reason can be there will be misalignment in the shaft, or there will be failure in the bearing, or anything else. So if I want to measure this particular vibration, I can use sensor as an accelerometer. This MEMS based accelerometer we are going to teach in the unit number 1, as the Gujar sir have already told this, that this accelerometer will be interfaced to some microcontroller or microprocessor that will give you time domain data, and if you use fast Fourier transform, that will be converted into frequency domain analysis. So see, if you go for vibration measurement, scope of all units will be covered, because here we will be dealing with time domain graph also and frequency domain graph also. Now you can ask me how to MATLAB in Python. FFT function is available, fast Fourier transform. This function is available. So if you give your time domain data to that particular function, automatically the time domain data will be converted into frequency domain data. So even if you don't have FFT analyzer in your institute, you can build this particular system and you can implement FFT analyzer for measuring vibration. Go to next slide. There I will explain how to develop this system. So now if you see here, MEMS based accelerometer ADXL335, which was used to interface it with the Arduino board, and then it was communicated to Python. Go to next slide. You can see here the actual system which was developed in-house by my students. So here 3 channels of FFT analyzers were developed, where 3 accelerometer can be connected at the same time, and you can acquire data from the 3 places at the same time. You can go to next slide. So now if I want to implement this particular system in Theory of Machines lab, we have this particular instrument which is called as cam jump apparatus. What we have done is we have placed this accelerometer over here on this particular plate, and then we have varied the speed of this particular machine. Go to next slide. So now if you see, now when the test was conducted at speed 240 rpm, the time domain graph which was acquired in the Python and which was drawn in the Python is given here, and then it was converted into frequency domain graph, and then you can see at speed 240 rpm the natural frequency will be equal to 4 hertz, because 240 rpm divided by 60 will give us natural frequency as 4 hertz. So if you can see over here, the amplitude of acceleration 10.69 meter per second is located at frequency which is equal to 3.967 hertz. Now this has been also calibrated with standard FFT analyzer. So you can, on the right hand side, you can see the black graph which was taken from standard FFT analyzer, and you can see the exact frequency is equal to 4 hertz. So similarly, the developed system was calibrated with the standard system, and the accuracy was found out. So this was in-house design, where the accelerometer was connected to Arduino board. The acceleration data varying with respect to time was collected, and then using FFT function in Python or in MS Excel or even in MATLAB, you can convert that graph into frequency domain, and then you can implement that system to acquire the vibration of any mechanical system. Go to next slide, please. So the same system was also implemented for tire pressure monitoring. So this accelerometer was placed on the tire hub, the rear wheel and the front wheel, both wheels. We have mounted the accelerometer on the wheel hub, and using the vibration, the amplitude and its frequency, we have mapped that condition with the tire pressure, and the system was developed. Go to next slide. You can see the experimental setup where the Arduino IDE with the laptop and the developed system was placed on a bike, where the accelerometer were connected on the front wheel and the rear wheel, and the data was acquired, and this data was further used for machine learning analysis, where we have developed a system based on vibration. The tire pressure will be mapped and the tire pressure condition will be predicted. Go to next slide. So this was the second application using the same system. Then the third is fluid flow monitoring system. So the flow sensor YFDN50 was used to interface with the Arduino board, and the system was implemented to measure the flow of the hydraulic pump, which is basically a centrifugal pump. Go to next slide. Again, this system, I would like to explain the working of this particular flow sensor. So basically a Hall effect sensor attached to this turbine type of flow sensor is considered to be a transducer, which examines the rotation of rotor or the number of rotations which will be given to the rotor, and then it passes the pulse train, which is in the form of electric signal as a frequency input to the microcontroller that is programmed to convert that particular quantity into a flow rate. So this is how this turbine kind of flow sensor works, and that can be easily interfaced to Arduino board, which is easily available in the market with minimum cost is equal to near about 500 rupees or 600 rupees. Go to next slide. So after making this particular system, we have carried out the experimentation on the centrifugal pump. When we have examined the discharge of pump varying with respect to speed, and again the experimental result and the result from the flow meter were compared, and you can see the accuracy of both the results, which is very close to each other. So go to next slide. So now all about these applications. Slide number 29. So selection of various sensors, microcontrollers, then interfacing the circuit diagrams, codes, and how to make this particular system. I am going to share the PDF for all these applications. And if you want to read more about all these applications, you can go through the links which I have given here. This PPT also I will share so that it will be easy for you all to develop such systems within your institute. Go to next slide. So all this work has been contributed by my team, which was inspired by Dr. Suhas Deshmukh. He was, before he was there in the Sinhagad Kondwa, and now he is associate professor in Government College of Engineering, Karad, along with our own Dr. Pardeshi and Mahesh Shevare, who is working in Purdue University, USA, and of course my students who have supported this activity and who have implemented this for making all this system. So you can feel free to contact me on the number which is given here and which I also share in the chat box. If you have any questions related to this particular, the main intention behind introducing this particular experiment in subject mechatronics is because we want to explore the scope of this subject with all 8 objectives which I have mentioned here. Because it will not be only restricted to connecting a sensor to data acquisition system, taking the readings, making a graph, and then just leave it. So this is not the scope, because it includes starting from selection of application, then selection of sensor, purchasing it, then you have to deal with its interfacing, coding, and everything. So it includes complete scope of complete all 6 units. That is why this experiment has been introduced. Now this experiment is not just restricted to development of data acquisition system, but along with that you can go for making mechatronic system also. So now to develop a mechatronic system, we need to add an actuator. To all these processes which I have just explained, if you add any actuator which will be used for communicating that signal to actuate some action, then you can go for making a mechatronic system also. So the application related to mechatronic system, that also I will share in the due course of time, because application related to data acquisition system was ready from my end. That is why I have presented it. But for mechatronic system also you can explore yourself. So scope of this experiment is not only a data acquisition system, but you can develop a small mechatronic system also. So this is from my side. Thank you so much.